I've been thinking a lot about learning lessons, like life lessons, or more precisely, why we do not allow ourselves to learn them. Because sometimes there is no shortcut, there is no alternative route. You just have to go through the thing. You have to feel it, mess it up, sit with it, and especially when you become more self-aware or more spiritual or just more conscious, you almost get harder on yourself. You are like, I knew better, I understand this, so why am I still go like doing the same thing? And instead of allowing to learn the lesson, you punish yourself. But maybe it's not about getting angry at yourself at all. Maybe this whole thing of like unlearning lessons is not to get angry at yourself. Maybe it's about letting yourself go through whatever you need to go through. We want everything to be right, clean, perfect. We want to make the best decision immediately without mistakes, without pain. And I get it. We want to hurt as little as possible. That makes sense. But the truth is, we're going to make mistakes anyway. That's maybe the point of life, one of the points, to make mistakes and to learn from them. Hopefully. Um, uh, we are so afraid of doing the wrong thing, yet we are like gonna do it regardless. And when we overthink everything, trying to control every outcome, we just get stuck in our heads. And honestly, that's not a good place to live. Don't get me wrong, having values, having morals, trying to be a good human, that's already matters so much. If you have that foundation, you're probably not going to ruin your life with one mistake. Um, you are going to make mistakes on the right path, if that makes sense, and that's important. Focusing all your energy on perfection, on I hope I never mess up, is such a waste. Uh, of of course we don't want to repeat the same destructive patterns over and over and over again for decades. That's a different conversation. There are tools for that. There are patterns, reasons, deeper work. Maybe work with therapists, like why you're repeating the same things a million times. Like, um, but I'm talking about allowing yourself to make small mistakes, like ordering something new at a cafe. You try it, you don't like it, and instead of beating yourself up, I knew I shouldn't have ordered this. You just move on. You're okay. Either you go back to your usual order or you try to um something else next time. Nothing bad happens. You are good either way. And I know it sounds silly, but for some people even that feels failure. Uh they beat on themselves, like they beat themselves up for that. Like ordering something wrong in like the restaurant. Um, so start here. Another thing that helps is checking in with your values. Ask yourself, am I a decent person? How do I treat others? A decent person, a good person. How I treat others? How do I respond when I'm hurt? When you can answer those questions honestly, there is there is less fear that one mistake will destroy everything. You trust yourself more. Also, change the way you talk to yourself after a mistake. Instead of I messed up again, okay, they say, okay, this happened because I reacted this way. Now I know something I didn't know before. Oh my god, they're doing something outside my building and I think you can hear it. Oh my god. Just try it. Just, you know, being okay with a mistake doesn't mean you never repeat it. You probably will a few more times. Uh, just like a toddler learning to walk, you fall again, and then one day you don't. The difference is whether you punish yourself every time you fall or whether you guide yourself. A lot of us learned punishment early. Maybe we were corrected harshly, maybe mistakes were not allowed. So now we internalize the voice and turn it on ourselves. But when you start acting like a loving parent to yourself, when you lead with understanding instead of punishment, everything shifts. You feel more joy, more motivation, more inspiration, and honestly ask yourself, what's the logic of being in a bad mental place and not getting resolved? Like, ask yourself, what's the logic of being in a bad mental place and not getting results? If results are not guaranteed anyway, would it be better, wouldn't it be better to be in a good place while trying? Because results come more easily from a healthier place. They just do. I also realized something about myself. I used to rush everything. I was obsessed with getting from point A to point B as fast as possible. The process didn't matter. It was never rewarded, only the outcome was, for me in my case. And I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with this. So I rushed. And when you rush, you don't allow mistakes. You don't allow learning. You don't enjoy life. Now, being able to sit and simply enjoy something without guilt, without urgency, feels a a kind of bliss. It really does. But to get there, you have to understand why you are running, and that usually requires deeper work, sometimes therapy, sometimes support. This isn't something one video or one thought can fix. Still, reflection is a start. Mistakes, rushing perfectionism, fear, they all connected. They When you don't allow mistakes, you don't love life. It sounds uh, cheesy, but lame. I don't know. Sometimes I'm saying things like from I read it like a quote. I read it somewhere, but um, life lead only for the end result isn't very enjoyable. When you live life only for the end result, it's not gonna be enjoyable. At least not for me. I'm speaking for myself. At least not for me. I want a fulfilled life, a life that feels good from the inside, not just one that looks good from the outside. And that means learning how I feel, what brings me joy, what blocks it. It's not easy. It's a long process. There are real struggles, real like mm, constraints, but learning to understand yourself is part of the process too. Why not aim for a joyful life as much as possible? And if you don't have stability right now, having one stable thing, a therapist, a support system, someone safe, can change everything. From there, other stable things grow, and that what happened to me, and that how, like, what I learned when you have at least one stable thing, and it can even be therapy, like it helps you to build other stable things. It's not that you can like and again, it's not that you cannot do it alone. It's just healthier, and um it's just gonna be quicker and maybe more healthier and then easier on your mind to do it with support if you can. um and I really believe that kindness to yourself is where learning actually begins as well.